Hbar price for July confirmed by CEO Hedera, and what's next? We'll answer those questions and cover the latest Hbar news in today's video. Welcome back to the Crypto Intel channel. If you enjoy staying up to date with everything around Hbar, please give this video a huge thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. That way you'll never miss updates, price predictions, and market analysis. So let's dive in. Right now, Hbar is sitting in a very unusual position. While most of the market is still waiting for a clearer signal before getting involved, more and more pieces are starting to fall into place behind the scenes. And if crypto history has taught us anything, it's that the biggest rallies usually begin when almost nobody believes they're coming. That's exactly why an increasing number of analysts are keeping a close eye on Hbar. Many believe it has the potential to become one of the biggest beneficiaries of the next wave of capital flowing into infrastructure-focused blockchain projects. As of June 29, 2026, the biggest question is no longer whether Hbar can move higher. The real question is, how big could the move become if several major catalysts start aligning at the same time? Over the past several months, Hedera has continued strengthening its position across enterprise blockchain solutions. Real-world asset tokenization, digital identity, payment infrastructure, enterprise applications. These remain some of the network's biggest long-term growth drivers. At the same time, the ecosystem continues expanding through new developers, new applications, and additional integrations that steadily increase the network's real-world utility. Another major story investors continue watching is institutional adoption. Following the launch of investment products tied to Hbar, along with expanded availability across regulated exchanges, the asset has become increasingly visible to larger investors. These developments rarely trigger overnight price explosions, but historically, they're exactly the kinds of building blocks that create long-term value. Now let's talk about the technical picture. After a lengthy correction, Hbar continues holding above a major long-term support zone. To inexperienced traders, this may simply look like a market that's going nowhere. But experienced investors know something different. Some of the biggest breakouts in crypto history have started after long periods of boring sideways consolidation. That's where patience often pays off. RSI on the daily time frame remains comfortably in neutral territory. The market isn't overheated. There's still plenty of room for buyers to step in before technical conditions become stretched. MACD is also gradually recovering after months of bearish pressure. Selling momentum has weakened considerably compared to earlier this year, and the indicator is beginning to resemble the early stages of a potential trend reversal. Now let's get to what everyone is really here for, the price prediction. If buyers can successfully reclaim and hold above the 0.10 to 0.11 range, that area could become the launchpad for the next major move. Under a healthy bullish scenario, the first realistic target sits around the 0.13 to 0.15 zone. If the broader altcoin market enters a full recovery during the second half of 2026, the next logical target could extend toward the 0.17 to 0.20 range. And if several bullish catalysts begin stacking together, continued enterprise adoption, more institutional participation, expansion of the Hedera ecosystem, growing demand for real-world asset tokenization, and an overall recovery across the crypto market, then a return toward price levels seen during previous major bull cycles becomes increasingly possible. Of course, none of these outcomes are guaranteed. Crypto remains one of the most volatile markets in the world, and every bullish scenario ultimately depends on broader market conditions, Bitcoin's direction, and investor sentiment. But what makes Hbar especially interesting today is that many of its strongest catalysts haven't fully played out yet. One thing the market consistently gets wrong is undervaluing infrastructure projects. Retail investors often chase hype, meme coins, short-lived narratives, quick pumps. Meanwhile, enterprise-focused blockchain ecosystems quietly continue building real products, real partnerships, and real adoption. And when institutional capital eventually rotates back into the market, it's often these infrastructure projects that attract the most serious attention. That's one of the biggest reasons why many long-term investors continue accumulating Hbar. They don't see today's prices as the top of the cycle. They see them as a potential opportunity before the next major expansion phase begins. When you zoom out even further, it becomes obvious that the long-term value of any blockchain isn't determined solely by its chart. It's determined by developers, users, businesses, tokenized assets, network activity, institutional confidence, and by almost every one of those metrics, Hedera continues moving in the right direction. To wrap everything up, as of June 29, 2026, Hbar still offers one of the most compelling combinations of strong fundamentals and relatively modest market valuation anywhere in the crypto space. The technical structure continues improving, the ecosystem keeps expanding, institutional interest remains strong, and real-world adoption continues growing. If these trends continue over the coming months, there's a very real chance that many investors will eventually look back at today's market and ask themselves one simple question: how did we not see this coming? Because in crypto, the biggest winners almost never announce themselves before they take off. By the time everyone finally agrees the trend is bullish, most of the move has already happened. Your plans, hopes, and expectations are for it. The best and most engaging comment will be featured in the next video. Just a reminder, friends, informational and news videos are posted on the channel every day, so you won't get bored here. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and click the bell icon so you're always up to date on all the latest news. And if you liked this video, please support me with a like. Your like is my motivation. Thanks to everyone for watching, and see you next time.